Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank you for inviting me to be a guest speaker tonight. When Lily reached out, and funny story, I'm also an educator. I don't know what it is about education and breast cancer, but Lily was my high school student at Flagler Palm Coast High School when I was diagnosed in 2023, so she kind of walked the journey with me. So thank you so much for having me here. I was very honored that she thought of me because it's just special when a student, that former student, reaches out to you and says, I was thinking of you and would you come to our event? So very, very, very sweet, thank you. Of course, I also want to thank my amazing husband for being by on my side tonight and every night for the past 35 years. His love and strength have carried me through more than he will ever know. He does not like to dress up. He doesn't like to go to events, so the fact that he's here with me is super sweet. I'd like to start by asking you to please take a moment and look around the room. As stated, statistically, 1 in 8 women in the United States, about 13%, will be diagnosed with breast cancer at some point in their lives. So it's clear that someone in here will get diagnosed, knows someone that's been diagnosed, has lost someone that's been diagnosed. So it will touch us all in some way. While the risk is higher for those with a family history, the truth is that most women who develop breast cancer have no genetic component at all, which was the case for me. My journey began in 2015 when I found a lump in my right breast and underwent a lumpectomy. Thankfully, at that time, no cancer cells were found, but my surgeon did find atypical cells and advised me to consult with an oncologist. I made the personal decision not to start preventive medication at that time. I had heard horror stories of tamoxifen and what it would do to your body, and that is the most commonly prescribed estrogen blocker prescribed to prevent breast cancer or recurrence. Life went on, and I had my yearly mammograms and ultrasounds because another fact about breast cancer is that if you have dense breast tissue, you are also more likely to develop breast cancer, and it's more difficult to find. So I knew that I was at an increased risk. I also had melanoma in 2000, I can't even remember, it was 12 years ago, so my cancer risk is even greater as well. In 2022, I felt another lump in the same place. I scheduled a mammogram in December and mentioned my concern because yes, I was paying very close attention to my body and I just knew something wasn't right with this lump. After I had my mammogram and then they had me do an immediate ultrasound, the radiologist came in and I knew immediately by the look on his face that something wasn't right. And he said, I need you to get a biopsy as soon as possible. So as an educator, again, we kind of put things off. So I waited until winter break and 2 of my best friends came with me to get my biopsy. And as I was about to go in, one of them asked me how I was feeling, and I hadn't really thought about it until that moment, and then it hit me that they're actually looking for cancer, and that moment is forever etched in my memory, walking into that appointment to get the biopsy. 2 weeks later, I was in school with my high school students, and silly me, I'm gonna check my patient portal while I'm in class with my students. And I saw the word malignant. My heart sank. I called my doctor immediately and she confirmed what I already knew, that I had breast cancer. And my first thought was not even about myself, it was about telling my family. That evening I asked my husband and my 2 kids to please sit down. They knew immediately, okay, this is not good. When I said the words, I have breast cancer, time seemed to stand still. My daughter burst into tears and she left the room. My husband and son were silent and they just stared at me. I said, it's okay, I'm gonna be okay. We'll get through this together. And we did get through it together. They went to appointments with me. They held my hand. They asked questions that I didn't think to ask, and they never let me face a single moment alone. After consultations, tests, and insurance hurdles, I had an MRI that revealed multiple concerning spots in my right breast. My surgeon laid out my options, and together my family and I decided on a mastectomy of my right breast. That took place on February 10th in 2023. Throughout the entire process, I prayed, my church family prayed for me, and when the pathology came back showing that all cancer had been removed and that there was none in my lymph nodes, that I would not need chemo or radiation, and I felt an indescribable sense of gratitude. I chose not to have reconstructive surgery, and that was a very deeply personal decision. I live with a scar and one breast, a visible reminder of what I've been through and what I've overcome. Some days it's still hard to look in the mirror, but over time I've come to see my scar not as something that was taken from me, but as proof of my strength and survival. Life after cancer is different. Even with a good prognosis, it definitely changes you. I still see my oncologist every 6 months. I've had to stop several different estrogen blocking medications because of severe side effects in my body. But through it all, I continue to be grateful for my health, for my faith, and for the love surrounding me. Cancer may have changed my body, but it did not take my spirit. If anything, it deepened my faith, strengthened my gratitude, and taught me that hope is more powerful than fear. If you know someone who has faced cancer, please remember that even when they look okay, their journey does not end with remission. It's something we carry quietly, a mixture of gratitude, vigilance, and hope. To everyone here tonight, please listen to your body. Schedule your exams and don't wait. Don't dismiss that feeling that something isn't right. Early detection truly saves lives. I'm standing here as living proof. When I first asked, why me? God whispered back, why not you? He reminded me that I could use my story to help others find courage when they need it most. And over the past few years, I've been blessed to support other women walking the same road to remind them that they are not alone. Because none of us are. Even tonight in this very room, there are people who walk beside you, pray for you, hold you up when you can't stand on your own. Thank you for allowing me to share my story. I hope it encourages you to be mindful of your health, to care for one another, and to remember that everyone you meet is fighting a battle that you may never see. So please be kind, be compassionate, and never stop believing the strength that lives inside of you. Because we're all survivors in one way or another, and together, we're stronger than cancer. Thank you.